Headset's just being a little wonky.
Hmm.
Oh, crap, what was I gonna... Alright, the iron, that's what I need. How you been, man?
Yeah, but no, Pax should be back soon. He's just having something to eat. So he'll be back in a minute.
Alright.
Who you been playing these days, man? You
just
still into Yakuza and that?
Yeah, just a whole lot of stupidity. Yeah, just had a falling out with a friend.
To do, though, innit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck, man.
Yeah, it's
That sucks.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what it was. It was like something, just like a switch went off in my head, and I was like, this person, you know, it's like everything's a joke to them, and it's for whatever reason, it was like this was hearing this it just drove me nuts, and it just ended badly. And then I smacked the door, and I managed to make a piece of like glass fall out, like a square glass fall out of it, and which led to me being attacked, and almost being injured because this person is as fucking Hulk Hogan strength and could easily kill me, because this is like this is like kind of like drunk anger kind of thing, where you just like become the Incredible Hulk all of a sudden. So yeah, I mean so it was definitely a close one.
Yeah.
But I did survive, thank God. His roommate definitely should have interjected a lot sooner than he did, but you know, that would be the reasonable thing to do. But I'm not gonna hold that against him. Yeah, and then so dude's a straight up alcoholic. He's got a problem, and he's not gonna change, I don't think. And so so it's, you know, it's
that's fucking shit, that.
Yeah, I don't know how long you know, he'll be lucky if he, you know, hits 40.
Yeah, well.
You know, kind of thing. So, and it's, you know,
it sucks though when you know the shit like that happens, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and I told someone I know. I told him, I said you gotta talk to him. I said you gotta bring it up. I was like I don't care. It's like, I don't care how, but you gotta say it straight up. I think you might have a problem, and he did. And of course, like any addict, you know, they immediately, you know, disregard what they were told, because that's what addicts do. Unfortunately.
Oh mate, fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's fucking horrible, that. It's a horrible place to be in as well, because you can't, sometimes you can't help them because they don't want to be helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, it starts to affect you. If you get what I mean, it starts to affect your mental health and that as well.
Yeah,
and this is what most people don't see, that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely, because he has a roommate, and his roommate's, you know, he's got a girlfriend, and you know, eventually he's gonna move on, and the friend knows that he has, you know, that he has a girlfriend. He's aware of this, but I don't think he realizes like how much it will affect, you know, his living situation, because he has money to put
around.
Yeah, it'll definitely, yeah, like unfortunately the guy needs like a reality check of some kind. It's, you know, it's nothing anyone's proud of, but it's definitely something that needs to happen.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's fucking shit, that.
So.
Yeah.
So yes.
I know.
We'll
Stephen. You know Stephen, don't you? He's bouncing around. Well, he's not too bad at the minute. I didn't know he's not living very well now. He had a big thing with his dad or something, didn't he? I like, oh mate, fucking hell.
Yeah.
So he's living at the moment. He's lodging with a family member, but he is absolutely working his ass off to try and get a place. He said, unfortunately, the problem is like, you know, apartment, these like little studios. He said, but the problem is there's a lot of people after him. He said, but he's not sure. He thinks one of his bosses who he works with wants a floor putting in, and he went about. He said he might be able to get a deal cut where he can kind of like, you know, get somewhere to stay. He said he'll get the first month's rent, and he said you won't have to worry about internet because that'll already be set up. I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
I said that's good, that, you know. I said like this is where it pays to know people. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, because people can be in situations where, like, they have some awareness of, you know the things that they need to worry about, like say rent, for example, you know, and
yeah,
and people can in many cases be they can function and do these things and what have you, and no, because you know because nothing's ever easy to do, and you know some things it takes it takes a little bit extra to accomplish, some people, it's like they have to work 2 jobs. It's not nobody wants that, but sometimes you just got to do it. But
no.
But there's definitely like an understanding that person knows that they're like, I have this, these necessities. Maybe they're taking care of a kid, whatever, they find that balance. But I've also seen firsthand that that a person can also be easily influenced by stuff. So like this particular friend of mine, he's been drinking for a long time, and it's, he used to party a lot, so he has a lot of that in his system still, and he still kind of does, and to some degree, and but unfortunately it's like in any case, it's these things definitely become noticeable when they start to affect other people, because he's like, a friend I was talking to said, oh yeah, I was over there with him, and he was fucking blasting music at 8 in the morning, and it's like nobody does that. And he was telling me about when he was celebrating on his birthday, and how literally the exact same event happened both times. He's like literally the only difference is he's like blasting music, 8 a.m. same thing. The only difference is that the first time it happened, the cops came. The second time they didn't, which is amazing. Because who the fuck wouldn't hear music at 8 a.m.? I was like,
yeah, exactly.
I was like,
you'd be straight around there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and he was mentioning that he was like trying to like stay on. You know, he's like sleep on the couch. You know, staying the night for a bit, because he was drinking with them, and he didn't want to, drive, of course, and and he's, here he is, laying on someone's couch, and 8 a.m. somebody's blasting music. It's just like, ugh. And he's like, dude, I gotta go. And I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, I was like, and so his thing is that he buys cheap vodka bottles. He goes to the 7-Eleven that's up the street, buys these cheap vodka bottles that they have there for, these things are supposed to maybe last like a month, right? Maybe longer, but it's like cheap vodka, so about a month, I would say.
Yeah.
And he makes them last not a month, not 2 weeks. He barely makes them last 3 days when he uses them.
Wow.
It's bad, and
that's really bad. That, not mine.
Yeah, and the thing is like he's not a bad guy. He means well. He's had a fentanyl appeal, but also the thing is that his job just so happens to be a bouncer at a bar. So of course, who goes to bars? Enablers, right? And I'll tell you a good example of like how I know that he's better than what he is. So on his birthday, first I was surrounded by a bunch of people I didn't know, because they were all people from the bar. I was like, that's nice and uncomfortable for me, but whatever. And he said, I'm gonna go home and drink, take some shots, being reasonable. I'm like, okay, birthday shots. Instead, his ass gets dragged into the bar because even though he specifically said, I'm gonna go home, he still fell into the trap. And I was like, you're falling into the. I was like, that's enabling. That's 100% what that is, and it's nothing, there's nothing cute about it, and it's just like, it's like I can't believe. It's like, ugh. I tried going inside that place, and I'm like, nope, not being in here. I was like, I don't. It's like I already hate crowds as it is, and I was like, it's like no. I was like, the bar I go to is not this loud. I was like, they play music through like a system that they have, but normally it's a relatively peaceful bar. This is, this has karaoke and shit, so I'm just like, it's like, I tried, and I was like, no, and I'm just stuck outside, it's fucking March, I'm standing outside trying to just, where it's, it's relatively, it's not super warm out, right, in March, most places, I'm just standing outside. Someone finally comes out, and that same guy. I'm just like, I just go on a fucking rant, and that friend finally comes out and acknowledges it, and I think he was trying to kind of explain himself, but I was just thinking just the whole time thinking, I was like, dude, all you had to do was just say no to them. It's all you had to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's
Jesus.
And that's how it's bad. Yeah. So it's bad. It's bad when I'm not the only one that feels this way. His roommate, I remember, like back in late May, early June or so. I ran into him, and we went down. There's a little valley near us, and he was going fishing, and I just joined him, And I was there, and I was like, and I asked him, how do you feel about this whole situation? And he was honest with me, and he told me straight up that he was not, that he had problems with this situation that he was trying to get out. And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, dude, you gotta. I could tell. I was like, you gotta move on. and unfortunately he hasn't, because money,
Yeah.
and what have you. He's
Okay.
dude works at a fucking grocery store, so he's
Mm.
not exactly making bank, as it were. And he's still there, but I could definitely tell what he's trying to do. And the thing is that he has a girlfriend. The idea is to eventually move on with her. The friend knows that he has the girlfriend. He's aware that that's gonna, eventually happen.
Yeah.
But I think he definitely needs like a reality check, because I don't think he realizes how like screwed he's gonna be when his roommate leaves. Because he's making he got like he's making a little more money now. He got he's been at his job for a decent amount of time, and he got a raise, and so he's making enough to, I think, at least pay his rent or whatever, and the thing is, he was telling me, he's like, I'm stopping smoking. I'm like, and I was like, that's great, but the whole time I'm like, you stopped smoking, but you're still fucking downing vodka bottles. It's like, what are we achieving here? Nothing. It's like, this is.
Yeah, that's how you're downing that much vodka. Okay, a lot quicker than cigarettes, well.
Yeah, and listen, that was one of the reasons I didn't want to be around him, because he was just smoke. You try playing fucking Monopoly when around 3 people who are all smoking. Doesn't that just sound like fun? Yeah, that really happened, and and it was.
I mean, fair enough. I vape, but I only vape because it stops me from smoking.
Yeah.
Because I used to smoke as well,
Sure. I got a friend that hits he hits
that up, and I've been
vapes and stuff all the time.
Since.
Yeah, I mean, I got a friend that hits things like that because it's because it makes him not buy. He was the only person I knew that legitimately tried to actually like quit smoking. Because.
Well, I tried everything. I tried nicotine patches, they didn't work.
No.
I tried inhalers, gum, everything, nothing worked. So I tried vaping, and that was the thing that did it.
Yeah. And you never cold turkey, because you'll like kill someone that way. My mom tried. She had stopped smoking for a long time, and then she was. She wanted to.
A little something can set it off again. That's a lot of things. People that quit cold turkey only takes one thing and they'll start up again.
Yeah, look, there's people that have, of course, it's everyone's different, but it's very rare, and and everyone's lucky that it happens. Yeah,
that's
so she tried doing something. There was
I know that
it didn't work.
Go on, Trish. You're right, Mom.
Yeah, she went nuts. She went nuts, and I was like, you know what? I don't want crazy mom. I'll just.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you know what? She'll just smoke, and she doesn't even smoke the way that that most people do. She literally just stops
the odd one here and there,
like that. Yeah. She doesn't even like
finish
them. Yeah.
A lot of people social smoke, don't they? Like they'll smoke when they go out and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
That's a pub or whatever.
My grandpa smoked for years, and I didn't even know. I remember like he was smoking back in like the 60s and 70s, because everyone did, right? But what I found interesting was like it was a Christmas picture, and it said like Christmas 1992 on it, and I looked at it, and I saw him with a cigarette in his hand, and I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, at this point he would have been you know, he would have been over
Did
60,
Mm.
or at least maybe like 65 or so. So he would have, you know, been smoking for at least a good 30 to 40 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's crazy, to have seen that. But weirdly enough, he never got hit by cancer. He
Yeah.
later on in life he ended up on like an oxygen tank, but it was, I think, for something totally different, but never cancer. And I was like, it's strange, but I know. But my dad did get hit by a form of cancer.
A lot of older people get hit by because it was a thing at the time, and a lot of people got it. Is it called tuberculosis, or or whatever they call it? The lungs. A lot of people used to get that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cancer was a big thing.
It was what was it? I think back in the day, like tuberculosis was one of those things that like it was like a known disease, but I don't think they had like a cure for it just yet.
No, so they didn't.
I think they would, because if I remember, because they in what was it, in Red Dead Redemption 2, they have Arthur Morgan get tuberculosis, and he's just fucked.
Yeah.
Because there's just there's just like the doctor's like, it's like, this is what you have, and he's like, this is about how long you have to live, and he's pretty on the nose about it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, I just was like, yeah, it's one of those things you just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
I got sick too.
I remember. I mean, obviously, I wasn't around at the time, but I know, you know, the king before Queen Elizabeth.
Yes.
He got
King
TB,
George.
Queen Elizabeth's dad.
Yeah.
He got TB, and that's where he died from.
Oh, is that right?
I mean, yeah, they saved him, and you know, they did an operation on his lungs, and you know, removed what they could, but he still died from it.
That's interesting.
They just made him live a little longer, if you get me.
I guess there's only so much you could do back then.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I'm thinking like, what was it? Something I've seen, which is like war movies and stuff. So it's like in the Civil War, you know, they're just like, drink whiskey, right? To you know, you've been shot in the leg, drink some whiskey. And then in World War II, they had stuff that they had stuff that they had like, they didn't quite have med kits, and they had things that they would take, and it was I forget what it was called, but it's some kind of like, yeah, like but it was, you know, something to like numb the pain, right? Is what it was.
Yeah, that's what they used to do.
And you see it, and you're like, it's like the most unhygienic thing ever. Just
yeah, it was basically just a plastic tube with a needle on the end of it.
Yeah.
And what they used to do is stab them with it and then push it all in. It was like a jellied form of morphine.
Yeah. Morphine. That's right.
It was designed for when soldiers got shot. You just. Anyway, dude. Did you enjoy your food? No, we were just talking about like certain like back in like 70s and shit. What people used to fucking medicines and shit.
Yeah, we were talking about well, we were talking about TB originally, and then we were talking about, and then I was just mentioning like, just how how it's. Like the way that they would treat things, or I was mentioning, you know, Civil War, they drink whiskey, right, to feel better. And I was talking about, you know, World War II, you know, morphine. Well, no, it was just, it's funny because it was like this person literally is shot, and they're just like, drink some whiskey to feel better. It's like I don't think that's how that works, but okay.
Uh,
My commanding officer said so.
but yeah, if you drink enough whiskey, yeah, fucking hell. Get some of that shit down your neck.
It's like, ugh. Give me 1 second.
Fuck. Fucking mouse. Stop hitting me, you fucking piece of shit. There we go. Hey. Oh yeah. Nice. What's he up to? Has he been busy like working as a probably?
He's working on the railroad. I've seen that before, like how they would
What did you have? Did you have it good? Did you have s'mores? Nah. Nah.
Did you guys make some progress?
Fair enough. As long as you've eaten something, dude.
I said, did you guys make some progress at least? You mentioned, because you did some manual labor. Okay. It's like you have to do all these little things. It's like bit by bit by bit. And I know, if I know anything, it's that dealing with rocks is like one of the most annoying things when it comes to any form of manual labor. It's just like it's like all you want to do is just, you're like, okay, I'll just do it like this, and it's just, there's always something in the way, and it's always rocks. Rocks are just not, not fun to deal with. Nothing but rocks. You're watching Nothing But Rocks on PBS. Do you say that dude off of Charlie Brown? You mean Charlie Brown? You know, the one that says that? It's crazy, right? They ever tell you when Robot Chicken did one of the stupidest jokes, which was they're like, well, rock and air rock sound similar, so the whole joke is they're like, I got this country, right? Like they're doing an assignment, and then having Charlie Brown say, I got air rock, and I'm just like, ugh. Like, boo! Get off the stage. You do. I was like, that is a rough joke. It's like you guys could do slightly better than this, and I'm like, no wait, they can't. So then I was like, oh wait, I'm watching Robot Chicken. It's like exact opposite of quality. You know, it hits and well, it hits and well, arguably not in a good way, but it's not supposed to. But in terms of like commentary on Christian life, of course, because it's I'm sure you know the thing about it is that it's like the first half of the show is like kind of lighthearted, kind of comedic, silly stuff, and then the second half is just dark as shit. They're just like, yeah, let's just go right into that. Just like they're like, oh look, Oral's dad is an alcoholic. How adorable. I I I have an episode stuck in my head, and I wish it wasn't the one I had stuck in my head, but I think it's just because it never made sense to me, and it was Oral gets he has a wet dream is the thing, and I'm sitting there and I was like, isn't Oral like 10 years old? I was like, why is this prepubescent kid having a wet dream? It always irked me. I was like, this is just so strange, and I was always like, I can't tell this is supposed to be intentionally funny or is it just weird for the sake of weird. But yeah, I know it has arguably one of the darkest finales ever. Like, well, I guess I wouldn't expect anything less. It was there was something that it was so dark that even Adult Swim had to say no to it, kind of thing. It got to that point, and I think it's like imagine being too dark for Adult Swim. Even well, yeah. I mean, I guess because the whole thing is, I mean, maybe the whole thing is that they're trying to deal with the fact that it's like, well, we share space with Cartoon Network, and maybe they didn't. They're like, well, we don't want to like upset our parent company, kind of thing. Because the whole thing about Adult Swim is that it's experimental and that they can go a little crazy, but I yeah, that's one of those where it's like you can you can go because that one goes weird, but it doesn't. I think it's when you go dark. Excuse me. Yeah. Because I mean, because it's so funny to think about. Like you mentioned, Moral World, because I'm like, you go back in time and it's like early Adult Swim may as well have just been network TV. You know, so tame. You would never think that this is the channel that aired a Metalocalypse, right? It's like two totally different worlds. Um, and I threw that in there just for you. Well, I mean, well, yeah, no, well, I mean, it is a good show, It was a good show, I should say. I mean, they literally created an actual band out of it. They didn't. They just. They did what. I always thought that was great. That I was like. They're like, let's basically do the Gorillas, but with a like a death metal band, and it worked. Oh, did you? Oh, I've heard of one of those. Oh, that's right. Um, that's right. I forgot he made that because he's the because you know what he created before that, right? Home movies, which I was like, yeah, you never know it's the same guy. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. It's I will say even for like early Adult Swim standards, it's definitely one that could easily make a person change the channel. Unfortunately, um, it's not a bad show, but it's definitely one that it definitely feels like we have it on early for a reason kind of thing. It's it's like what was it? It's like how like Toonami would kind of like pick and choose specific shows to air at certain times because they knew which ones were the popular ones, which ones weren't quite as popular. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean that was the big hit out of the gate, of course, which isn't shocking. Um, Also, Everett, I can't. So what sucks is there's a guy that would make these compilations, and he's done a lot of Toonami stuff. And the what sucks is that for some of them, he can only use the original dub, the Ocean one, um, which after a while gets really annoying because I hate. First off, Ocean dub Piccolo is disturbing to me because he's just down here the whole time. It starts like this. I'm like you sound like a predator. Like I'm just like no. And when you're talking to Gohan, it doesn't make it any better. And it's just, and I don't know. It's just the direction that the said voice actor went with. I mean, he's a talented guy, but it's just like ugh. And and the less I have to hear Ocean dub Vegeta, the better. I can't. I was like, how is this a voice for? I was like, I was like, I know Vegeta's like the joke is that he's not supposed to be taken like 100% seriously because he's like, he's like I'm gonna take over your planet, but this dude's like 5'3" and has like a receding hairline, right? A widow's peak, and that's intentional, but it's that's supposed to kind of be the joke, but when you don't just hear that guy's voice, it's like ugh. But the and then I had to hear the current guy that's been Vegeta for 20 odd years. He had originally that the new cast had to come in and they had to replicate those original voices, and it just sounds even worse. You heard someone like try to like sound like a like Bugs Bunny or something, and it's just like not quite there, or that kind of thing. I was like I have never heard a weirder. I was like weirder sounding Vegeta in my life. It was like I'm like they did it for a bit, and then Funimation's like, okay, let's just have them actually do their own thing, and then you get a Vegeta that actually sounds like a character. But this is what happens with them. And but yeah, it just sucks. I'm like, I was like, this poor guy. It's like all he wants to do is be able to put like the better Dragon Ball Z episodes. Yes, I said it. Into his compilation. He just can't. You know, some shows. The thing is, and I'll give him this, is that he's make these compilations and he'll be like, there's certain shows I can't put in because of copyright, right? So he gets creative and he's like, okay. So he finds shows on, you know, whatever thing he's doing it with. And he'll go, okay, these shows I can't show, but these aired at the time, so they can fill in. But usually for the most part, it's a lot of them he does get in, no problem. It just definitely depends on the show. But it's just such a cool channel. I just came across it one day and I was like, this is awesome. It's like legitimately well made. It's got the commercials with it, so it actually flows into each show. You know, it's got the bumpers. Like with Toonami, it has the bumpers that are like this says what shows on next are about to play, right? So it's like really well made. And he's got it's like a shit ton. It was like if there was like he would take whatever channel, you know, maybe it'd be like Nickelodeon or something, and he would take a particular year, and he would look at like the schedule, and then he would build the compilation around that. He probably the craziest thing for me that even he couldn't believe was he made one for Snick, right, and it was like in December. It was the whole Christmas themed one, and he actually managed to get Rugrats into the compilation, which you'd think would be like the last show that you would think would actually go through, but somehow it did not fail him. So it's like that's impressive, because you know shit like that is not easy. You know, you gotta get really creative, and it definitely helps for something like Snick that it's a lot of like live action shows. So I don't think it's as difficult to kind of get around that. It's a lot easier to, you know, get Pete and Pete into your compilation, you know, than something else.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Face here. I slaughtered 20 puppies today. Enjoy the show. Everything about Face is, I'm like, that's. I said Face. I was like, Face murders. I was like, every time a show is playing, I'm like, I came to a point. I was like, Face murders things. I'm like, that's what he's doing. And then he comes back in the commercial break, and he's like, it's just me. I'm so happy. And I'm like, no, that's the face of a serial killer. That I was like, Face went to prison for like third-degree murder. I don't trust him. I love him, but I don't trust him. Mr. Rogers is legit. The dude didn't even yell at his wife, man. You can't. Like, no joke, he admitted this. He's like, somebody was on a show years ago, and they said, like, you ever like argue with your wife? He's like, you know, I can't imagine you being angry and yelling. And he's like, yeah, no, I just don't have it in me to be angry. But he acknowledged the like idea of like, what it'd be like if he could get angry. So. You don't like me when I'm angry. Friends. I love the idea of Mr. Rogers being like, I want a version of Mr. Rogers where he's just incredibly passive aggressive towards everyone. but he's but he's still really nice. But he just comes off as it's like the mailman comes by and he's like I could do your job. He's like I'm sure you could. Like it's really awkward. It's like it's no Gilbert Gottfried and Cyber Chase, but you know. They're like, guys, I got a great idea. We'll have him voice a bird again. They'll never see it coming. Although I will say that Gilbert Gottfried and Cyber Chase is definitely far more toned down than when he's Iago. Because Iago is like a crackhead, right? Iago goes insane. In basically every Aladdin movie. And the show as well. They really liked him being in the cartoon for some reason. Couldn't tell you whose bright idea that was, but no. It was India. There's a story I heard that like cracked me up, which is Jay Leno said that he had on Roger Moore, one of the guys that played James Bond, right, in the 70s, early 80s, and the thing that was that is he was asking him, like, you go anywhere on vacation, and Roger Moore was saying a place called India, which is a city in California. But all Jay Leno was hearing was India. And he was confused how Roger Moore was able to drive to India. And it was like a whole thing. And then like on the commercial break is when he's like realized what he was saying. He's like, it sounds like a long drive. I said, no, not really. It's all accents, man. Like it's weird because it's like, and I like to mention that Roger Moore does not have like the thickest of accents necessarily, so it's funny to mishear that. I could, if it was like Sean Connery or something, I could understand someone mishearing that, but you know. Because I also love that there's Americans that legitimately can't comprehend the fact that like they think of a country, right, and they just assume that it has one accent, which is why every dumb American thinks that there's only one British accent, because they can't comprehend anything beyond that. Exactly, yeah. It's like when anyone with a brain cell could obviously figure out that that's not the kid. It's like of course there's multiples. It's like yeah. Did you just say Wales? Wales, you know Wales is in the UK, right? I think it's South Wales, yeah. Like, yeah, I think it's South Wales is down there, yeah. Cause regular Wales is I'm surprised it isn't just called North Wales, but North and South Wales at that point. But that's true. Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. There's two types of Australian accents: normal and drunk. That's it. There's nothing else. You can't. Mm. I mean, there are dudes in Australia who are just like I mean, we think of them as stereotypes, but they literally are just like drunk dudes. They're like, oh, hey, dude, because they're just like because they've just been like drinking alcohol for like half their life, kind of thing. It's just it's just how it be. Well, well, I mean, yeah. I'm sure it depends on where you are or who you are, of course. I mean, yeah. I mean, I mean, those are yeah. Unfortunately, it's it's no it's not like California bra bad though. That's the, it's I don't think it's as annoying in Australia because they're not like doing like the what's up dude kind of thing. It's like it's there a little bit, but um definitely not to definitely yeah yeah yeah. They definitely come off as less because they still got the accent, so it's like their personality might show in it, but beyond that, not so much. Yeah. But California bras, they're the fucking worst. Hey, bra, want to surf some waves? And you're like, no, I I want to go to my job and earn money. It's like, oh, that's cool. You don't want to hurt the water. It, you got it. Yeah, you got it. I am I am a conservationist, and I don't want to hurt the water. They're like, that's crazy, dude. The water's like my friend. Wow. Righteous. Fish are fish, not fish. No, that's not it. Take 37. I'm just imagining. I think I had a dumb bit like that, which was it was movies if they were dubbed but if they were dubbed by surfer dudes, and it was just and it was like yeah, it just like totally kills it because it's just like it's like the same dialogue, like nothing else is different, but then there's just but then you're just like, I don't remember Finding Nemo sounding so surfer bra like. You're, yeah, everyone sounds like a surfer bra except for Crush, who just sounds like who just is a regular guy. Yeah, he gets switched up. They'll never know. He's like, yeah, everyone's talking like this, and then Crush is just like, hey, you guys want to like go to a steakhouse later? just, it's like, just boring guy. There's a I think it's Disneyland or something, but they made like an entire attraction that's just talking to Crush, and he's just on a screen, and the guy just kind of does a lot of improv and stuff, but he's really good at it. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's not the same person, but the cadence of Crush is still there, so it's comes off being, you know, it's being kind of entertaining, and then sometimes you just like, you know, he'll just improv a line that's just really funny, that's almost out of, because sometimes, you know, that's the thing, is it's when these like characters kind of go out of character a little bit. There's like a Megatron thing like that, where it's Megatron comes out and he talks to people, and his entire thing is to just shit talk. And that's more or less, and you just kind of play along with it. And the guy, it's all just a guy, you know, improving, but there's just something really entertaining about Megatron shit talking you. I'm like, it's like the only. I'm like these poor people, they have to use the Michael Bay version of Megatron, like that look, but so it's only semi insulting, but I could tell the person definitely enjoys their job. So what? Well, no, well, like I said, Michael. I said because Michael Bay. It's Michael Bay Transformers. I mean, they're awful. That's the thing. I'm saying, so it's based off the particular version of Megatron is based off of that. So I'm saying semi-insulting because it's like, it looks like that, but the guy is doing his own thing, so he gets to kind of, you know, be good in that sense. And like I said, he gets to shit talk people, and I'm like, you know what? If I was gonna have a job like that, I couldn't imagine anything better than just getting to be an asshole. I mean, look, if there's any character that's gonna like shit talk me, it's gonna be Megatron anyway. So, because I've seen like clips, and you know, it's of stuff like this, and it's like the those people that have to at like Disney World that are like dressed up as the Marvel characters of Star Wars, and they stay in character, but they're good. But they're good with the kids, and you know, the kids will just kind of like say something that's just kind of adorable, right? But they know how to play along with it, and I'm like, yeah, I was like, you know, I know it's almost kind of like, you know, an easy joke to be like, you know, obviously it's like, you know, working at Disney World, it sucks, blah blah blah, and it's like yeah, and I'm sure in many ways it is, but I feel like if you could at least be able to being able to say I was dressed up as Darth Vader and I didn't hate myself for a day, you know. Like you know, you don't want to feel like you're like a birthday clown, right? You want to you want to be in that, and I mean I felt it's when you have to play like the newer Star Wars characters that I feel bad about. I'm like I don't know if I'd be proud of that, but hey, you do you. Yeah, I'm seeing the guys playing Kylo Ren. I'm like, well, I mean, guess somebody has to. I was like, not me. I was like, I don't know how you play a character that basically has zero emotion. It's like being. They should have had Karate Kid. As in Ralph Macchio, you mean? It's not a, it's not a bad idea actually. Especially now that he got to like come back and do acting again. I feel bad that he had to come back and do more Karate Kid shit. I'm like, boy, Ralph Macchio cannot catch a fucking break, can he? It's like, let him do anything else. He's literally been in things that aren't the Karate Kid. It's like, no.
Yeah,
it's gotta be more of that.
Look at him in he was in Crossroads.
Yeah.
Remember that? That was a fucking great film.
He's in that. He's
what was the other film we were in?
He's in My Cousin Vinny.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's the one of the ones that's on trial.
He's been in loads of films, but to be fair, he is known as the Karate Kid. The Karate Kid was massive when it came out.
The first one was,
I mean?
yeah. The first one was nothing else. No, the sequels weren't.
No, actually, the second one was good. The third one was absolute pure fucking.
Oh no, the third one's horrible.
Dog
oh,
shit.
everyone knew it was bad. Yeah, I just mean like the effect on the world.
Right.
Like I'm saying like the first one was huge, and then the second one, kind of in Hollywood of course it's this movie did good, so make a sequel. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is. We just want money, and
no.
I think, and I mean the thing is, yeah, Karate Kid 2 is a decent movie. It's nothing to write home about, but
I think to be honest, the only reason I actually liked the second one is because you got to know a little bit more about Miyagi and
that's right.
I
was gonna say, a lot of his background. That's right. Yeah. I feel really bad for that man because that dude was an American actor, and he had to be the most stereotypical Asian ever. Just Daniel-san. And I'm like, this dude was fucking born in America. And I feel so bad. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, let this man.
What though, he played that. He played it to a fucking T.
He did.
He was.
He did. I mean,
I'm gonna give him that.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Daniel-san.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant. Yeah. Well, I mean, any Asian can do that. That's the thing. But it's.
Oh yeah.
Like I love the movie Rush Hour. It's a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's incredibly, but there's a lot of Asian jokes in it because it's a movie from the 90s. And to the point that almost like, because a lot of it was, I mean, most of them, to be fair, were from Chris Tucker because it was a lot of like ad-libbing and stuff like that. And he's funny in the movie, of course, and the whole time you're just waiting for Jackie Chan to punch him from hearing all these jokes. Yeah. I'm just like, I heard probably one of the best things from Jackie Chan, which is he said that people weren't like sure about their relationship, the two of them. I think there was this idea that they didn't like each other or something. In reality, that wasn't true at all. Jackie Chan mentioned he said So in the movie, right, they purposely have Jackie Chan. A lot of times, like the scene with the get him getting out the airplane, all that. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my
Yeah.
mouth? And he's purposely mute, which was an intentional choice because from a producer. Jackie Chan was worried about the movie because he's like, well, I got the thick accent. And he's like, no, 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 it'll work in your favor, and it does. So as a way to
Yeah.
kind of like fuck with the character, he's intentionally mute for most of the time that he's around Chris Tucker. And Chris Tucker thought that there was something that he was doing something wrong, and Jackie Chan said no. He said the reason I wasn't saying anything is because I didn't understand a word that Chris Tucker was saying. Because he's like motor mouth. He's like, I have no idea what the dude is saying, and I was like, it's like, fair enough. I was like, that's that's Chris Tucker's angle. That's Chris Rock's angle too. There's a lot of comedians like that. It's very it's very of the
he's
time.
got one of the heaviest accents, is Chris Tucker, and to bring somebody whose first language isn't English, and it's like,
Yeah.
come on.
They were worried, but they convinced him because they said
I like
the fact.
outtakes.
They're great.
The
Yeah.
outtakes where they say some of the words wrong and shit. That's fucking funny.
I mean, and then of course there's the classic scene where Jackie Chan's trying to sing "War."
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "What?" Yeah, and then yeah, there's he's like, "You're not singing it right." Yeah, he's like skipping words, and then by the end they're both dancing to the song.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Fucking brilliant. I grew up watching a lot of these, like, like his classic movies, like Drunken Master and Iron Fist and all that.
Yeah.
They were fucking... yes.
I don't think I have. I
I think I've seen that. Correct fingers.
Oh, there you go. I know about the.
Isn't that the one where he's in the town that's being taken over, and he ends up fucking taking out this entire horde with a fucking stick? Is that the one you're on about?
I think that might be one that.
Or is that the one where he trains? Is that the one where he trains with his master, and his master like pretty much like beats the crap out of him, but he turns him into a fucking.
I think the one.
Yeah.
I think the one you're thinking of might be one of those like mid '80s Jackie Chan movies.
Let me have a look.
Because he had. Because what I learned that was kind of interesting was that he had all these movies, and then he had Rumble in the Bronx, and that was supposed to be like the big like
Crack Fingers, yes.
big American movie, and it failed miserably.
Yeah, Master Crack Fingers. 1979, about May.
79. Wow.
Yeah, I remember that one. That is, to be honest, I forgot what the name of that was. But holy shit, what a film that is. Because yeah, he goes through a lot of training and stuff.
If I remember right, in China, a lot of actors, I forget what it is. It's like they'll do movies, and they're basically making movies for the government, more or less. There's some kind of organization that China has specifically, and I think Jackie Chan used to, some of his older movies used to do that.
A lot of people in China used to do kung fu movies to spread the word of kung fu.
Yeah,
it was not a lot of people knew about it back then.
It's true, yeah.
and that was the quickest way to do it. And Bruce Lee was the prime example of that. He was the guy that brought Kung Fu to America. I don't give a shit what anyone else says, but he was.
My stupid brain totally forgot that Bruce Lee was born here in America. When I thought he was born in China, and did stuff there, and then came to America, but it was the other way around.
Yep.
And I was like, how did I not know this? Because then I watched him do an interview, and I'm like, oh, he's speaking, clear as day, like clearly no like strong accent. And that's when I looked and I was like, oh, he's American born.
Born in California, wasn't he?
I believe so. Yes. So he had this whole. And yeah, I believe he also was doing movies in China like that, same thing.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm always amazed at some of the movies that come out in other countries, and they're just like, they just feel like 10 times better than anything that gets made, in some of these places. I'm like, I say this as if
I've got
as a
I have on my Fire Stick. I've got this thing called a martial arts channel, and it's just pure old fucking martial art films, 24/7.
Oh,
and
nice.
I fucking love it. It's brilliant.
I love stuff like that.
And it's totally free.
Oh, there you go.
What's that?
Eek.
Which ones? The old ones or the new ones?
The old ones.
Oh, the old ones were fucking brilliant.
I mean,
They were great movies. Oh, mate.
No. They not all of them were. The first one is a great movie. The second one is tolerable. No. The first one's the classic, dude. The second one has fucking Vanilla Ice in it. You try to justify that shit.
It was in everything back then, fuck me.
I know. He was a corporate whore because that's what they did back then. It's not. I'm not holding that against. I'm not holding that against him. That's just the cards he was dealt. My understanding is they basically tried to make Vanilla Ice as like the new Elvis, or more or less, and yeah, because that was kind of how he was. Because they're like, he's a big deal, and it was it backfired, and he got he got used, to say the least. It's very unfortunate. I feel, and it sucks because he didn't deserve that, but luckily years later, Vanilla Ice was able to rebound. He would always do shows and stuff, and he basically found a way to kind of make fun of himself. So, you got, you got to have a little bit of a, be able to laugh at yourself a little bit, especially when you're Ice Baby. So you gotta find a bit of a common ground. You have to go, yeah, that was a stupid song, but he's like, but I take full responsibility. do that?
Did I do that?
Carl,
Fucking
help.
brilliant.
I'm stuck in an ice tray. I don't know why he's in an ice tray, but I'm just... Listen, I found something interesting, which is that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Family Matters had something in common, which is that they both had stars where one cast member had just disdain for the person. And ironically, in both cases, I think it was the person playing the mother on each show, which is certainly interesting. But because there was the one person who was despised Will Smith because Will Smith was very cocky back then, as was his personality. And then somebody had a similar thing where they felt that about Jaleel White, Steve Urkel, where they felt because over the years, that show it basically just became the Steve Urkel show because he was the popular one, right? To a fault, and it was just like. It's like, yeah, I don't need fucking Robo Steve Urkel and shit. So maybe we can pull back a little bit. I mean, there was a fucking Bruce Lee Urkel, for God's sakes. I mean, take Steve Urkel. Who? Yeah, they come out and it's 3PO instead of Anthony Daniels. It's Jaleel White, but it's just like, oh my, did I do that? Just like totally kills it.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, I mean it's very very flamboyant. They used to just straight up just call, they would just say that 3PO was the gay robot from Star Wars. That was just how people would talk about him, which isn't flattering, but even The Simpsons did it, so. Simpsons did it. They did everything, yeah. Did I travel to the future? Carl, it's me from the future. He's now the Family Matters reboot where Steve is an alcoholic. Everyone's moved on, and he can't comprehend it. Goes, everybody left me. Also, they there's a couple of years ago they came out with basically a Steve Urkel Christmas movie. and Jaleel White came back, and obviously I don't have to tell you that um, the man can't exactly do that voice anymore because he's like 45, and you know he's trying. It is actually Jaleel White, but it's like to a point. I'm just like, did we? You know, I'm just like, I don't know if we needed this, but I guess for all the hardcore Urkel fans that live in the 21st century, here you go. In the 21st century. That's key. EA Sports. It's in your ass. Stop making fun of me. Why are you laughing? I gotta poo. The fuck is going?
Oh, fuck.
I come in, I'm seeing all this activity. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And I look, and I got raided.
Oh. Nice. I know you're streaming.
By
Yeah, well,
penguins.
you should have said I would have jumped in. Penguins.
There's too many penguins here. What's up? I don't know. I had a punchline, but I couldn't think of it. Why do penguin fart? In Soviet Russia, penguins fart you. Am I still funny? Go to the Russian guy. Go back to India. They're like, which one? I like to imagine somebody says, go back to India, and they point on a map and they point at Mexico instead. Because they just don't know that. They're like, I'm gonna point to a place and you're gonna go there. And they're like, you're going to India, and they're just not even. It's like like when you like spin a globe and you're like da 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 and you just point right. You see where your finger stops. It's like that, but you keep guessing it wrong. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that correctly, but this one time at band camp, oh my god. I'm going to. Oh my god, I'm dead. Why would to an Indian? I don't know which accent do I sound like? I'm imagining you saying that, but you're saying it to the like you're making that like you're making a joke about like a suicide bomber, but you accidentally say it to an Indian guy instead. They're like they're like, well, maybe you shouldn't wear that vest. They're like, what are you talking about? They're like, it's like this is what I always wear. It's just like kind of thing. It's just I don't know what you're talking about. Some where I like to sing happy. I, I sing happy happy joy joy before every mission, and then I have to explain to the kids what happy happy joy joy is.
Happy, happy, joy, joy. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, yeah, Ren and Snippy. But, yeah, I have never seen a show that has ever fit less on a network than Ren and Stimpy. And then some idiot said, "Hey, you know what Ren and Stimpy needs? An adult version." They're like, "What are you talking about?" The version, yeah. They're like, no, it needs more bouncing boobs and stuff. We'll we'll give you full control, and then he makes the show, and they only air 3 episodes. Like, what a great show. Oh my gods. I was it's I could say this. There are things that are very interesting in the second one, but there's also a lot that's very botched too. So, but it's not the third movie. It's the second one's still a movie. No, it's not. The first movie. No, it's not. It's the second movie is extremely comedic and not dark like it should be. That's that's the problem. The first one's thematic. It's cool and edgy, but but in a good way, not in a bad way. It's not the first. It's the first one you saw. It's not the first one to release. As as long as you didn't have the third one, that's all that matters. And you didn't, so you you as long as we both know how awful the third one is, that's all that matters. You ever seen the third one? is rough, to say the least. Shut up. No, they don't. They go. They just, yeah, they just make. I can't sound like a turtle right now, but yeah, they just make, just make noises, yeah. Then Apu goes, I don't know what you're talking about. This movie was a solid 7 out of 10, but Apu was there, so I gotta give it a lower rating. So the way I would describe the third one is like, imagine writing like the worst possible jokes you could have for a Ninja Turtles movie, right? But then also you're like, hey, what if we time travel as well? And they do. They go back to ancient Japan. Because that's what I think of when I think of the Ninja Turtles. Naturally. And it's a lot of that stuff. And it's just, yeah, it's just rough. It's not even, like I joke about the Vanilla Ice thing, but it's not even, like, charming in that way. It's just bad. And it's extremely hated for all the right reasons. And also for some reason the Ninja Turtles dance to ZZ Top, so that's a thing. And that's not me hating on them. That's just, you're like, what fucking kid is listening to ZZ Top? It's like, yeah, that's what I think of. These are the cool ones. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. And then there's this CGI one. Yeah, I was just thinking about that because, like, I got nothing against the game, but I was just thinking about how awful of a game that must be with all the updates it probably has. Genshin Impact, or just anything like it, But yeah, in this case, because it's like, because I feel like even if you were playing it on, PS5, for example, I'm sure it would still have fucking 20 ass updates that it still has to do. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, I will say I do know a little bit about that because I play Fortnite, and Fortnite very much has a lot of updates to it. Um, which, granted, it's usually uh, for like it's like a big update because it's like a new chapter is coming in kind of thing, right? Um, New content, what have you. There's always something going on. Put you right there. Put you right there. And put you right there. I got a feeling tonight's gonna be a good night. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. I didn't get my rations, Lieutenant Dan. What? I don't got. I don't get. Leave me alone. I'm creating jobs. No joke. I'm not holding it. This child. I don't. Put the child down. I don't know who this child is. No joke. No joke, folks. This man is still sniffing my hair. I'm not gonna say I like it, but I'm not gonna say I hate it. Yeah, I found iron. Grr. Hooray for iron. I can't make iron boobs. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da.
Yeah. Huh? It's late. It is 5 o'clock in the morning.
Which I knew already.
Yes, it's daylight. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting off in a minute. Anyway, cause yeah. It's like midnight for you guys now, isn't it? Well, it'll be 11 now, won't it?
Oh, there it is.
I'm just going to do this and then let's see. Just going to put that in there.
Let me see.
Shit. Shit. Still nothing there. Put that on there, and that on there. And then, boop. Okay, I have no idea what the fuck that did, but you shall see. Ooh, skill points. Oh, I got a lot of skill points. Yeah, right. Skill tree.
Connect them. Yes. Chest. Put you in there. Put you in there, and you in there. You and you. And you and you. Well, you know I need those, but Down we go. Oh. Hello. I see iron. Just imagine it's I see dead people, but it's just like I see dead people eating fat pancakes. They're like, what? It's like, these are like the fixation just becomes on the fact that it's fat pancakes and nothing else. They're like, no, you said you see dead people. I was like, no, fat pancakes, like super fat. That's not true. I never get full. I mean, not wrong. I can't. Throw this in there. Throw that in there. Oh. Sleep. I should probably get this. I should probably get this headset off of me because my audio is only coming through one ear, and I don't want to hurt it for too long. For some reason, I don't know why it's acting up. I'm gonna see if it's like that on my Xbox controller, or if it's just this one, but but it's nice to see you gentlemen as always.
Yeah.
Oh.